Good day, everybody. My name is Miss Cynthia. I'm in JS2. I'm schooling at Madonna Girls Secondary School, Muzi. So far, so long. This is my holidays time. I've read many novels, and I would like to share the ideas with you. The novels are Stories My Mother Told Me by Remy Adedeji, Chicken and the River by Chinua Achebe, The Honey Bee and the Bee Eater, Akko the Storyteller, and the Old Man and His Sugar King, and The Proud Beauty. I would like to start with the stories my mother told me. In that stories my mother told me, there are many stories there, but I would like to summarize through. They are the singing bowl, the wicked slave, and the three brothers and the old woman. The singing bone is talking about a king. He had two sons, so he was thinking, when I die, who will be the king among my two sons? Maybe they will fight. So the king thinks of what to do. So he called his two sons and sent them to a forest to go and find a flower which was not common. So they went into the forest. At first, they never found the flower, but in the evening, the youngest brother found the flower. So he called on the elder brother, and he took the flower to him and said, "Here is the flower, I have found it." The elder brother was not happy, so he snatched the flower from him. When the younger brother was trying to get the flower, the elder brother hit him a big club by his side. So when he hit him the club, the younger brother fell down helplessly. So the elder brother hit him the big club until he was dead, and he buried him in the forest. So he took the flower and rushed home. When he reached home, he told his father, "Here is the flower." His father said, "Thank you so much, that's good, so you will become the king when I die." So the father asked him about the younger brother. He said that since they left the house, he haven't found him, but he knew that he was the one that killed him. So the father told him he should go and look for him. Then he left. He went to go and look for the younger brother. But he didn't look for him because he knew he killed him. He just sat down one place. After a while, he went back home and told the father that he didn't see the younger brother. Later, a hunter went into that same forest to hunt some meat. So when he reached the forest, after hunting those meats, he was tired. Then he sat down one place and was resting. He saw a bone, and he picked up the bone and began to blow it. When he blew it, the bone started singing, "Hunter, hunter, it's my bone you are blowing. My brother killed me and snatched the flower from me. Now he is going to become the king after me. Hunter, hunter, it's my bone you are blowing." So the hunter took the bone to his wife, and his wife told him to take the bone to the king. When they reached the king's palace, the hunter told the king to blow it, and the king blew the bone. The bone started singing, Father, Father, it's my bone you are blowing. My brother killed me and snatched the flower from me. Now he is going to become the king after me. Father, Father, it's my bone you are blowing. So the father told the hunter to call the eldest brother. The eldest brother came. When he came, the father gave him the bone to blow. Then he blew the bone, and the bone started singing again. Brother, brother, it's my bone you are blowing. You killed me in the forest and snatched the flower from me. Now you are going to become the king. Brother, brother, it's my bone you are blowing. And the father asked the brother whether it was true. The brother said yes. And the father said that the law of the land said that anybody that killed someone must be killed. Then the father killed the elder brother, and the elder brother died. That is how the story ended. Another one is the wicked slave. In a village, before a girl married, he will not marry a man from the same village. He will marry a man from another village. So a girl called Ada with a woman. We went to marry with his sister and the slave. But before they left, the chief priest warned her that she should not bath in a river or use the water from the river and bath. So when she was going, the slave told her, "Come, let's bath in the river." Ada refused. Then the slave told her, "Let me get some water for you. Stay at the river bank, let me get some water for you." Then the slave went and get some water from the sea. When Ada was prepared to bath, the slave pushed her inside the water, and Ada turned into a fish and swam away. So the slave warned Ada's sister not to tell anybody that she's not the bride. So when she reached to the village, she behaved like the bride, but she was not the bride. The villagers treated her like the bride. So when all the time, Ada's sister would take food to the river and call Ada to come and eat the food. Whenever they give Ada's sister food, Ada would take it to the river. Later, the husband sent some men to go and look after Ada's sister, and know what she's always doing with his food at the river bank. So they watched her as she called Ada and told Ada to come and eat. Ada came and ate the food. There's a song that she used to sing whenever she goes there. Ada, Ada, come and eat. It's your sister. She pushed you inside the water just to be the bride. Now she is the bride, but she's not the real bride. Ada, Ada, come and eat. So the men went to the king and told the king what she's always doing in the river. So the king said that he's going to see by himself. So he went to the riverside and hid. When the girl went there again, she sang the song again, and Ada's sister and the king said, and the king said to Ada's sister, "Come, let's go home." And when they reached home, she asked her what had happened and why Ada turned into a fish. She told him all the stories. And later, the king called 7 chief priests and told them to come to his house with pots filled with water. And he sent Ada's sister to go and sing the song again. And Ada's sister went there and sang the song. And the chief priest catched the fish and brought the fish out. They put the fish in the first pot. They brought it out. They put it in the second pot and brought it out. They also put it in the third pot, the fourth pot, and the fifth pot with the sixth pot. So after that, in the seventh pot, the fish turned into a beautiful woman called Ada, and they brought Ada out and took him to his husband's house. When they were going, the slave saw Ada, so she wanted to run away, but the people by the side caught her, and Ada told the slave, "Fetch some waters with a big pot, set firewood and put them on fire." So when the water was boiling, Ada told the slave to bring them out, to bring the water out. So when the slave brought out the pot of water, Ada cut his hair and put inside the pot of boiled water, and told the slave to enter there and get it out. So when the slave entered there, she died. And Ada was now happy that someone who wicked her is dead. And that is how the story ended. Another one is the three brothers and the old woman. The three brothers went to the forest. So on their way back, they saw that it was raining. So they entered a hut across the road. So they saw an old woman inside the hut. So the old woman was very kind and helpful. So she told them to remove their clothes and spread them. So when they spread the clothes, they went into the old woman's house, and the old woman was cooking. So when the old woman was cooking, the old woman asked them whether they would eat. They said no, that they would not want to eat. So when it stopped raining, they went to their house. They went back home. On their way home, their youngest brother said that he forgot his cap. So he went back to get the cap. When he reached to get the cap, his intention was not to get the cap, but to eat the old woman's porridge yam. So after eating the porridge, he filled the pot with sand and ran away. When he met his two brothers, they were walking home when they saw the old woman. The old woman told them they should come back. Then the disappointed children. So they went back home. So they went back to the old woman's hut. When they reached there, the old woman told them, "Who ate my yam?" They said that they didn't eat any yam, but they didn't know that the youngest son had already eaten the yam and filled the pot with sand. So the old woman told them, "We are going on a test, that they will go to the river. Anybody that ate the food will not swim out of the river, but the person will die inside the river." So when they went to the river, they started singing. The first brother passed, the second brother passed. Then when it was time for the third brother to pass, he didn't want to pass. So the old woman pushed him, and he passed the river. When he was passing, he sank inside the river and died, and others went home. So when they reached home, their mother asked them about their youngest brother. They said that he ate the old woman's porridge and he sank inside the water. And that is how the story ended. Now the stories my mother told me is ended. I would like to share with you another story. Akko the storyteller. It's talking about a boy called Akko. Her family is very, very poor. So his father died when he was 4 years old. He had a twins called Obo. So the two of them were happy. But their mother was selling clothes. Sometimes people buy clothes without paying. They will promise to pay at the ending of the month, but they won't pay. So one day, the headmaster of the school that Ako was schooling was looking for a bunch of key. Then he told all the students that anyone who finds the key, that anybody that finds the key will always be happy in the school with him. So Ako and the Obo found the key near the near the compost. So they took the key to the headmaster, and the headmaster thanked them. When they reached home, they told their mother, and their mother appreciated them and advised them. So after that, they went back to the school the next day. When the teacher was telling stories, they listened. Ako paid very attention at the story. So when their teacher was telling the story, at a stage, her teacher saw that Ako was paying very attention. So she asked Ako, "Would you like to be a storyteller?" Ako said yes, and the teacher said, "That's good." So the teacher continued telling the story. After telling the story, Ako went home. Sometimes he always called many children and be telling them stories. Sometimes his mother told them stories. So one day, Ako was very ill. His mother never had the money to take him to the hospital. Then he called the headmaster, and the headmaster helped her and took Ako to the hospital. So when they reached there, the doctor told the woman that it was because the Ako was not immunized when he was small, and the problem was from the leg. So the woman bought for Ako a cat, and Ako walked with it. Sometimes he pushed the cat to school. So during the holidays, Abo was pushing the cat around the villages, even at the markets, and Ako told the people stories. Some give him presents, of money, some gave him items. So one day the governor heard about the boy called Ako the storyteller. So he called Ako to come and tell him some stories. Ako told him some stories. After telling him the stories, he gave Ako a scholarship, and many people that were around there when he was telling the government story gave Ako some presents. So later, Ako started schooling, and the governor furthered his education. And the governor continued to sponsor him in his education until he finished his university. So after his university, he had a lot of money. So he fed his mother and his twin brother, and also they built a very big house. And that is how the story ended. Another one is the honeybee and the bee eater. There is once upon a time, the honeybee was flying around and was looking for a food to eat. So he saw a garden filled with flowers. So he went into the garden and sucked the nectar from the flowers. So when he was sucking the nectar, the bee eater came to the garden and was pouring at him. So he never listened to the bee eater. He continued sucking the nectar. So when he was sucking the nectar, the bee eater got angry. So he wanted to eat the bee, but the honeybee flew up and stung him at his head. So when the honeybee stung him, the bee eater went away. The bee eater flew away in blindness, and the honeybee continued to suck the nectar from the flowers happily, and the story ended. Another one is the old man and his sugar cane. There lives a man. He had a sugarcane plantation at the river bank. So before when anybody that touched the sugarcane, he did not used to sell the sugarcane, nor gave it to others. Anybody that eat the sugarcane will, and if he's a man, the man will die. If he's a woman, the woman will be a housewife. So Mama Kuji was have a farm near the river bank, and before you reach to the farm, you pass the old man's sugarcane. So Mama Kuti sent her 3 daughters to the farm to harvest some cassavas. So when they reached there, when they were going, the last daughter called Titi plucked the sugarcane, and she was eating it. So when she was eating the sugarcane, she didn't know that the old man was seeing her. So after harvesting the cassavas, when they were coming back, the old man saw her and told her, and he held all of them and told them that they're not going to pass, that why do they eat his sugarcane? So they said that they didn't eat the sugarcane. The youngest daughter didn't want to say the truth, so she said that she didn't eat the sugarcane. Then Yuki said that let her go and call her mother. So she rushed home and called her mother. Her mother came with the villagers, the strong men in the village. So they went to find the old man. When they reached, the old man asked the children again, did they eat the sugarcane? They said no. So the old man said that he had some ideas that will solve the problem. That they will go into the river and swim. That anyone that's sink inside, anybody that is lying will sink inside the river. The old man first swim, and he swam out. The woman was very, very surprised. So all the villagers and the woman, they swim and they left. Yuki and the second sister, they swam. Yuki and Kitty swam and they never sank. Then when it was Titi's turn, she was crying that she cannot swim. Then her mother comforted her and told her to swim. So when she swam, she fell into the river and she sank. And the mother went back with the villagers. The old man went to his house, and the story ended. Another story is the proud beauty. There is a princess in one kingdom. So he's very, very beautiful. She's very, very beautiful. So she didn't want anyone to marry her, exception of those that have money. So a man with only a head without a body heard about her. So she borrowed body from people. She borrowed hands, legs. He just borrowed body from people. He borrowed clothes, cars, a jeep. So he went to marry the princess. When he reached, the princess saw him and said that he's very, very beautiful and rich. So he took the princess home. When they reached to the kingdom, the princess was surprised seeing people coming on and was losing their bodies. So the princess ran away. When she was running, she saw an old woman, and told the old woman to help her. So the old woman gave her a magical ring. So when she wore the ring, she disappeared and she went to her kingdom. So when she reached the kingdom, all the people heard about the story. So no man went again to marry her. And she was now crying, and she said, had I known, I would never do so. the story ended. Now I've come to the end of my stories. I know that some that I read, but I can't remember the summarization. I can't remember them. I've already summarized with you the ones I knew. Thank you once again.
So, are you going to read more, or are you done with reading?
I'm going to read more.
Okay. And what do you have to tell other kids at homes, pupils, students, and those who are not reading? What are you going to tell them? Why do you read? Is it good to read? Does it help to read? And just tell us one or two things about this.
So I will like to tell those kids at home, those ones who do not read, those who do not like reading, to read and study hard. Reading is a very good thing. If you read, you know something's happening in the world. Like when you read newspaper, you know something's happening in the world. Some novels are true, while some are not true. So I would like to tell them to continue reading, that they should study hard and read harder.
Okay. What do you mean by that some novels are true and some are not true? What does that mean?
That is, some people write a novel about the things that is happening in the world. There is one novel that I read, The Oracle. I can't remember the full name, but it's just The Oracle something. So they said that in the novel, they wrote it that the novel was something that happened real in the world.
Okay.
So that is how that I noticed that some novels are what that is happening in the world.
That means some are fiction and some are not. Okay. All right. Thank you once again for sharing the novels you read with us, and we're happy with you. And congratulations once again, Miss Cynthia.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Goodbye.